Malibu Ken. Aesop Rock, meeting with tobacco. Tobacco. Aesop Rock. Just kidding. Oh, I'm actually going to do that. Hold on just a second. Aesop Rock. Tobacco. In fact, tobacco and water. Okay. Just kidding. Okay. So yeah, I knew he was Illuminati. Am I Illuminati or am I one of the guys from one of those Thomas Harris novels? I don't know. Okay. Probably neither. Let's do a lyrics analysis. I like these. Sword Box by Malibu Ken on the album Malibu Ken. Now this is a song. It's not a story. It's a song, although it's sort of semi-narrative, not really, about performing, basically lying to your audience to get their money and to get their attention, but also to have them believe something about you. Sword Box. What kind of bastion of trust hit the stage with a straight face and a jacket full of doves? That would be Aesop Rock. Where daisy-chained hankies vanish into plastic thumbs. It was classic misdirection sold as magic to the young via masters of deception, the full force, cord a volunteer, pull a quarter out his ear in a recession. Oh, actually, let's continue with this. This is like a little magic show in itself. But anyway, so this is a very interesting. It's beautifully phrased, and a lot of really interesting metaphors, like Aesop Rock usually has. But he's talking about the idea of, trusting in me, trusting in the persona that I, as an artist, if I were to be if I were to be in this realm, am developing. And so you have, what persona are we going to believe? Well, maybe we'll believe a persona about being dark and, music might be dark, but a persona about being like hardcore and like, oh, I'm this cool big bad guy who talks about white privilege. Machine Head talks about white privilege. It's still a pretty solid album from Machine Head. I'd recommend it, of Kingdom and Crown. It's one of their better recent ones that I've heard. Or something like, damn, oh man, it's a great album, but it's like, damn, I'm performing, I'm in this character, even though I'm this, I've made a lot of money and I've been very successful and blah, blah, blah. I'm presenting myself as this sort of character, and there may be truth to it, there may be sincerity to it, like the song Fear, for example, really very powerful song about, fear and about sort of conditioning you through child abuse and all that stuff, emotional abuse. And all of that. But I am this bedraggled. I'm Kendrick Lamar. Because I am black, I am very, very put upon. That's he's there with his jacket full of doves. Or let's go to another one. I've got CDs here, and they actually work well for this. Hesitation marks, suicide. Oh, here are the marks that I made cutting my wrists, but it was just hesitation marks. I wasn't really cutting my wrists. And it's 9 Inch Nails. Oh, how dark, how emotionally resonant, how very much sad and resentful and melancholy. There are personas, these may be very sincere and genuine things, but they may also be looked at as personas. Even someone like Aesop Rock, in this case as part of Malibu Ken, like MF Doom was as part of Mad Villain with Madlib, they're maybe putting on a bit of a persona. Okay. Pull a rabbit from a Stetson as a rapper, though it's basically the same exact profession. I'm doing tricks for you. It's you feel like you're identifying with me. I may write things that are very helpful for you, like in the rock or the metal context, Metallica with Crown of Barbed Wire. It may be helpful. It may be interesting. It may be ingenious. But is it, especially with the verbal, acrobatics and pyrotechnics that someone like Aesop Rock might have? Is it a little bit of a show as well? And I'm not saying it's bad if it's a show. I really look there. I've got some poetry books there. In the other room, there are the other poetry books I have. These are all very, like W.S. Merwin, very interesting stuff, but very much an aesthetic. Contemporary American poetry. It's from a college class, very interesting. It has W.S. Merwin in it a little bit, but there is an aesthetic. John Milton with Milton stuff, and then Paradise Lost, and both of these, I think, Pablo Neruda, Sylvia Plath, Frank O'Hara, the leftists doing Best American Poetry 2021 with a hilariously sort of dismissive, actually, introduction from the series editor talking about how Harold Bloom dismissed a prior whole year of them when he was doing his best of American poetry, and he's like, yeah, this one year by what's her name, or edited by what's her name as the book editor of that particular year, was just full of identity politics, and so I'm not going to include any of these. And he talked about that in this, and this was also the year where he was talking about Harold Bloom having died or something, so it was not just out of the blue for him to have talked about that. But it's funny because there is almost entirely in this that I've looked at, it seems to be based on identity politics. And there's Edgar Allan Poe, poems and short stories, all sorts of stuff where there is an aesthetic to it, and there is a message, and there's what you can get from the message, all that. Okay, let's see. Watch, con artists, give a fuck who the mark is, whether gorgeous or New Yorkers through the eye of Diane Arbus. I don't care who my audience is. Maybe I'd identify more with certain members of my audience, blah, 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 but I don't care who the mark is. If you're a mark, if you're willing to buy this shit, then great. Literally buy it. Symbolically buy into it. Whether it be New Yorkers, representing where Aesop Rock is from, and by the way, I had a friend in college who said he went to the same high school as Aesop Rock. I was like, oh my God, awesome. That was really cool. Apparently some of the teachers talked about him and said like, hey, yo, oh, yeah, Ian, Ian Babbitt's Aesop Rock. That was really cool to hear. I actually went to the high school that Jack Nicholson went to. That's very interesting. I was also in the same prison unit that Whitey Bulger was apparently in. So Jack Nicholson played a character who sort of represented Whitey Bulger or that kind of story in The Departed. That's something that I don't know if anyone will ever be able to say except me in the relative sense. Went to Jack Nicholson's high school, went to Whitey Bulger's PC unit. I don't know. That's kind of cool. No outstanding warrants, nothing up his sleeve. I need you feeling weak and needing something to believe. There's, there, I didn't do anything. I don't have outstanding warrants. Nobody's looking for me for any particular like crimes or misdeeds or something. There's nothing up my sleeve. I'm not, I'm not hiding anything. I'm being kind of open. But in the same couplet, I need you feeling weak and needing something to believe. For you to buy this music, for you to latch on to me as an artist, for you to buy all my stuff, for you to be a big fan of mine. And by the way, I love Aesop Rock. I think I do have all of his main albums. And clearly some of his non-main albums. I'd recommend The Uncluded with Kimya Dawson. Incredible folk rap. Folk rap. What's folk rap? Check it out. It's really cool. But, and some of his best lyrics in that. I'd highly recommend Organs as a song to listen to if you want to listen to one of those. But, I don't care who it is. Just listen to me. I didn't do anything wrong. Nobody's looking for me for doing anything wrong. I'm not necessarily hiding anything, but at the same time, I need you feeling weak. I need you feeling like there's a lack that I'm fulfilling and needing something to believe in me, to believe in what I'm putting out there, what I'm putting out.